Welcome everybody listening to the Fair Weather Podcast. It's your boy 2K Suave from the brotherly city of brotherly love. I'm here with my boy A Rod from the what is it, New York? What y'all call yourself?
The
The
Big Apple.
the Big Apple, Gotham City, New York. What's happening, partner?
Nothing, man. Last episode I recorded from the beach, so I was a little feeling it that day, and I had some celebratory Hennessy shots now to get this one going. So
A little handy for the system. Never hurt nobody. Don't worry.
yeah, so if I get a little bit red in the face, my bad. It's just the liquor flushing towards me. So
It is what it is, man. We're here to have some fun. It's March Madness. Let's give them a little rundown what we're gonna be discussing today.
well, topic number one will be March Madness. We're gonna discuss Deshaun Watson situation. We're not, we're being really selective in what we say about this because
We're gonna tread lightly, but it's something that we can't avoid anymore. It's got to be discussed.
Yeah. So we will be talking about Deshaun Watson, and then we're going to talk about the second half of the NBA season with a bunch of the injuries that are going on. And Mr. Draymond Green wants to put himself out there and say, he's the best defensive player. We'll tackle that and say if he's fact or foolishness on that.
My boy Draymond's.
I like saying we're going to talk about in the beginning of the show. I kind of like doing that.
Yeah, you gotta let the people know what they're getting themselves into.
All right.
And I got a fun edition of where he go to college today. It's fun.
Okay, I'm game for it. All right. So March Madness. I think everybody's bracket is pretty fucked up at this point. It's all messed up.
According to the Fair Weather Podcast bracket challenge that we have right now, Mark Burnett is actually the leader of the pack as far as the rankings for the bracket. He's doing pretty well. He's as far as everyone right now, a couple of y'all picked Iowa to win and Illinois to win.
Bless your souls.
Sorry, so they out. So I'm still alive. I got Michigan. A lot of y'all got Gonzaga. There's a Baylor in there and there's a Houston in there. So there's somebody who's still gonna win. But if you picked Illinois, first of all, what were you thinking?
No, man. That's
no. Y'all listen. Y'all believe the hype too much. I did not believe in that hype whatsoever. Illinois, come on now. When have you ever heard Illinois do anything in March?
I mean, they did go to the final with Deron Williams and D Brown.
And then what happened?
They got spanked.
D Brown's the name. D Brown, I like D Brown. D Brown was dope.
Yeah.
D Brown was dope. But yeah, they got spanked. They got spanked.
They did, but I mean, if you look at that team play, I haven't watched. When I went on Townie, they wanted me to speak about college sports, and to be honest, I really wasn't up to par with college sports or college basketball at that time. And then I started watching the Big Ten tournament and all the different tournaments, and those kids were balling, man.
They were
playing pretty good basketball. But I think what shot them in the foot is when Io wanted to take that Kobe picture in the bathroom.
Yeah, he thought. Humble, man. He thought. I'm like, bro, you think you Kobe now? Come on, Skip. Yeah. What are you doing, bro?
He's a good player. Him and that guy Cokeburn, I really like him a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, they choked and
they didn't choke. They ran into Loyola and they got sister. What's her name?
Jean, man.
Yes, she's blessed with the cover with the blood of Christ and everything. She got those boys playing hard over there. So
she even said it on ESPN when they were talking. And she said, if they can get past Illinois, then they can get past anybody in the tournament. So
she tripping. Illinois is not that good. But anyway,
big the difference. But like you said, anyways,
it has been fun to watch though.
It definitely has been.
We like upsets.
It's good. Upsets are always great. I mean, it hurts your bracket, but it's definitely fun to watch upsets happen. And Kansas, Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina for the first time, not in the Sweet 16.
Since 1979. It's the first time.
There's not a lot of the major programs you're used to seeing in here. North Carolina got the boot ASAP. Kansas got it 2 days ago. Duke wasn't even in it. Kentucky wasn't even in it. So it's cool to see some of these other programs. And I was discussing with one of my friends when I was at the beach. We were like, now that they have the tournament back, and there's all these different COVID protocols.
Yeah,
we were thinking like it's going to be a cakewalk for these big time programs just to run all over these teams because there's no fan base in there, and a lot of their fan bases travel more than Loyolas are going to go there, or Texas Southerns or Oral Roberts fan base are going to be there. But that's definitely not happening. I don't know if it's just the mental pressure for these kids being in the tournament or what it is. I don't know, man.
what I've learned with March Madness over the last few years, unless you have like a super duper star, the teams that have seniors and juniors on the team are going to be the teams that do the best because I mean, at the end of the day, a 21-year-old is a little bit more mentally prepared than an 18-year-old. So if you got a team that's got a lot of veteran leadership and a good mixture of a really good freshman, a couple good sophomores, solid junior and a senior that's been there, done that, those to me are the teams. Like, if I actually paid attention to like everyone's team and looked at their rosters, I feel like my bracket challenge will always be better because it's the same concept every single year. The veteran-led teams are the ones that are going to advance the farthest. And then the farther you go, then it's coaching. Then you'll see, all right, who's better with the X's and O's. Because the Billies and the Joes will get you to the Sweet 16, but then the X's and the O's will get you to the Elite Eight, Final Four, stuff like that. So, yeah, I like it, though. It's fun. It's fun. It is fun. And people were scared that going into the tournament, no Duke, no Kentucky, North Carolina's not that good. Michigan State wasn't that good anymore. People were scared that, damn, the Blue Bloods are not that good. Is it still going to be successful? Is it still going to be fun to watch? It's the same emotion. At the end of the day, it's basketball. And, you're getting 3 stars and 4 stars and 5-star recruits spread across 64 teams, 68 teams actually, and you're gonna get these kind of outcomes. So I've been excited. I've been drinking my Trulies and my nasty cacties from what's his name, Travis Scott.
Throw those away. Those are.
I might. Kevin told me to use it as toilet cleaner now because they're pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
I thought Travis was going to use Kevin as the spokesperson for it now, man.
It made me proud to know that people are objective because I'm like, damn, this don't taste good, bro. I tried to give it the benefit of the doubt, and then I had a Truly, and I was like, nah, this High Noons is better, Trulies is better, White Claws is better. So when's the next games? Is this weekend?
Should be this weekend, yeah.
Yeah, the next games. Drink, I'm not trying to endorse nobody. If y'all want to give me an endorsement deal, that's great. Give the Fairweather Podcast an endorsement deal, that's fantastic. But drink a White Claw, drink a High Noon, drink a Truly. Cacti, I can't really speak on that one.
Yeah. Oh well. But I think a lot of people too, when they watch this, they want to see those big name players go super far as well, like the Cade Cunninghams, the Evan Mobleys of USC, he's still alive. But in the past, like the Zion Williams and the RJ Barretts, and they can go back longer and longer to see all these superstars that you see in college basketball. But what it comes down to, like you said, is the age of players. Like you said, the seniors and juniors are going to take you a little bit farther. They have more skin in the game. They've probably been to a couple of these already. Coaching, how they're going to be coached by these coaches.
Yep.
And then I think it also comes down to like how the players mentally prepared for this as well, because you want him to go far, but even like Cade Cunningham, like look at him. His first game that he played, he had a really, really bad game and they still won. And then the next game he had a really good game and the team just, collapsed. You got to have a complete team. Like there's got to be a complete roster there to play with you and good players around you. These one star or these one and done guys, like that's what they're there to do. Yeah. They're there to get one and done and then jet out really quick. Just
about it. Just think about the last 10 years. The best players outside of that Kentucky team with AD and all them boys that was balling, the best players don't ever really win this thing. Like it's hard. It's literally Zion didn't win. John Morant didn't win. Durant didn't win. Man, that's more than 10 years ago. Durant didn't win it. I mean, who else is in the NBA right now that's like great?
I mean, Ben Simmons was a first overall pick and didn't even make the tournament.
Ben Simmons was in the NIT tournament. Like it's these superstar college athlete players. It's hard. It when they say it takes a village in college, it literally takes the whole equipment staff, coaching staff, the practice team, the the seniors, the juniors, the super seniors, the graduated players that come back and help. It takes a whole village to win in college, in my opinion. So, but that's what and the thing about March. The reason why, like, the NCAA needs March Madness, and they're going to do whatever it took. Because I know we lost one game, Oregon and VCU, because of COVID, but they were going to do whatever it took to make sure this tournament happened. March Madness is a $1 billion like thing. It's so much money is generated from March Madness, even without that many fans there. And I always look at March Madness, and then you look at college football playoffs. And how, like, it's the same 4 teams every year. It's not as exciting. It's like, it's never like, there hasn't been one college football playoff since they started this format that I've genuinely like, wow, this was great. And I'm like, I'm looking at this bracket right now. I'm excited. Like, it's so different. So I was going to ask you.
I beg to differ on that. Isn't the one where like Tua relieved Jalen Hurts in the final? That was pretty exciting.
That was exciting because a player got hurt.
Yeah, but it's the same. I get what you're saying on it's the same teams all the time.
But Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, and then
the rejuvenation of Notre Dame.
And then pick one: Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Florida. Like, it's always whoever else, the 4th seed. But it's like, bro, I'm like, what do you think college football should do then? Is there anything they can do? Should they expand it? Should they go back to, I don't know, like, what should they do to make it as exciting without completely ruining the season?
Yeah, I agree. I think doing like bracket style like this is ridiculous for football. You really can't do that.
Of course.
But maybe extend it more from 4, maybe like top 10 or top 8 maybe, because you get to see teams like they shouldn't even have a mention on this show. And I hate saying
I know what you're going to say.
Like schools like UCF that want to take a jab at, an Alabama program.
Yeah.
And listen, man, you guys have a good program. It's good, but it cannot hang with the likes of Alabama.
But think about it. One game, any given Saturday, Friday, Sunday, whenever they play, I mean, it's one game. I just seen Loyola. I've seen Abilene, Texas, whatever, be like it's one game.
Roberts, yeah.
Oral Roberts, like, where the hell's Oral Roberts at?
But the thing is, like, with those programs, it's different. Like, it's a bigger group of players compared to a smaller group of players, and I think it's harder to coach that than it is basketball, because you got to get these guys all on the same page, and then it comes down to like you're recruiting for those kids, because there's these guys from Alabama, they're getting the right guys. They're getting 5-star recruits, things
Alabama's,
like that.
Yeah, that's different. Alabama's another level of different.
But I think back to your question, I think expanding it instead of like the 4, maybe making it to 6, and then having 2 guys that are the top 2 sit it out and then play the next round and then go from there. Mm-hmm. Maybe something like that.
You can do 6 or you can do 10 doing the same thing.
I feel you on that.
That's a lot of games.
I say like each year you test it out and expand it and see, because this is going on what, year 6 of the bracket?
Something like 7 maybe. Something like
that. It's fairly new and I like it, but I think because they used to do like the winner of the Orange or the winner of the Pac-12 played the Big Ten and all of that. Like
they still do that to an extent, but it was very like. It was hard to be like, all right, these are the top 2 teams they're going to play. Like, they didn't get to play a game to say they're going to play that. You know what I mean? Whereas now, like, here's how I do it. No matter what, like I would say, the Power 5, the conference winners should be in the playoffs. So 5, no matter what, and then you have that's what then you could do. If you do 6 teams, then you do an at-large team. But who would be that at large? Should it be a non-power conference, or Would it be because sometimes Alabama and Georgia are really good, but you're gonna leave LSU or Florida out. So it's like you don't want to do that. So you go to 10, you get the Power 5 winners, and then you just pick just do like a ranking from like UCF, for example. If they're 12-0, yeah, put them in. Remember back in 06 when Boise State beat Oklahoma with the Statue of Liberty and everything like that?
Mhm.
Like that's what we want to. I want to see a Boise State compete with an Oklahoma, with the Texas, with the you want to see that. So and that was just a Fiesta Bowl. Like I want to see that in the playoffs where they have a chance to win a whole championship.
I would say like about 5 or 6 years ago, they could have contended with them all the time.
Yeah,
with that program. That program was pretty, was a stud program. But now, I think with that too, it's like you can't have too many games because of injuries and stuff like that and careers. Yeah. So football, you're more likely to get hurt than basketball. And then the other big thing is marketing. You got to market like the teams that are there. Like if Duke football was there against Alabama, like it's easy. I mean, you can market it, but how many Duke football fans are there?
But theoretically, when we go to the end of the year, it's the same 4 teams in the playoffs for the most part, but it's always the top 10 teams. It's still a good bunch. Like you'll see a Florida, you'll see a Texas A&M now, you'll see a random UCF or there was that one school, Coastal Carolina. You'll see some of these teams that make a splash, and it'll like I've never watched Loyola Chicago ever play a basketball game in my life except for the tournament. But when they play in the tournament, it's like, damn, this is a fun team to watch. So if you've never watched UCF play before, and I'm sorry, I'm so mad I keep having to say UCF, but when they were at the top of our conference, the American Athletic Conference, UCF got some dogs. UCF have sent players to the NFL. UCF just got Malzahn from Auburn. Like that's like, it's so annoying to say this, but that's like a big time small program right now. Mm-hmm. We used to be on that level, and we might get back there again, USF. But UCF is there. Like that's a place where coaches want to go coach at. Players will transfer there and stuff like that. So just because you never watched UCF before, they get to the playoffs. I mean, that's probably a good matchup to watch because you just because you've never seen them doesn't mean they're not going to be a good matchup. And we got to give programs like that an opportunity to play on the big screen. And what I learned with COVID in 2020, because you know how the college football season was a little different, where it was mostly playing all conference games. So we're worried about scheduling. Florida and Alabama, they schedule like the Citadel and Valencia and Hillsborough Community College week 2, 3, and 4. So like eliminate those games. You play all conference games. That way you actually deserve and earn your spot into the playoffs, because like Alabama this year, it was all conference games. I say you schedule one out of conference game and the rest should be conference games. And then that's only like 9-10 games. Then you're able to schedule an extra playoff game or two so that the kids are getting 12-13 games in. I mean, it's not rocket science to me. It should not be that hard. I don't think so.
I agree. It's just really tricky to do it with football. Basketball, it makes sense.
Does it though?
I think it does. I think the brackets are dope.
All right. I look at what like USF women's team, right?
Mm-hmm.
We made it to the round of 32 where we lost. But on the season, our record, I think the record for our women's team was like 29-3 or 29-4. And I looked at the other teams on that bracket, and they have way more losses than USF. Yet USF was still an 8 seed, and those other schools were like a 4 seed, 2 seed, 3 seed because of the competition.
But I think it all goes by strength of schedule.
Which
too.
is,
like, I don't watch a lot of of USF women's basketball. I know there are a bunch of dogs out there, and they run it for the program for sure. But you can't tell me that like UCLA's women program or USC's program for women's basketball is better than the competition that USF is playing.
Of course not. But for like, let's say if they beating everybody in their conference 75-30, that means that's a dominant. It's a dominant team. Same thing with football. If UCF is beating Houston 56-0, USF 56-10, that's a dominant. That you are dominating your conference. You should at least get an invite to the table. Like just at least, let me come to the table real quick, and then we're gonna put you against Ohio State. If you beat Ohio State, you beat Ohio State. If you don't, you don't. It's just you gotta at least let them have the opportunity to because it's think about being a collegiate athlete, and you know for a fact, if I go to this school, there's no way in my life that I'll ever play in a college football playoff game, let alone a championship. Like if I decided to go to the University of let's say I went to UConn, right? There's no way UConn will ever be in the playoffs as it's presently constructed. We could go 13-0, beat everybody 70-0, and they will still put Texas A&M with 2 losses over us. That's not fair. So
it is either, but at the same time, those teams show that, well, fuck you, I'm going to win this tournament. And you saw UConn take down a Kentucky with, Julius Randle and a whole squad there. And then they took down, I forgot who the other team when Kemba was there. I think might have been Butler.
Mm-hmm.
I think Gordon Hayward
and
Butler. Shevlin Mack was there. 2 good programs.
But you see with basketball, they had to win the conference championship just to even get invited to the bracket. So if you dominate your conference, you should be invited to the bracket. That's how I see it in football too.
In their defense, like the Big East isn't what it used to be anymore either. The Big East basketball used to be like really, really good. But no, I get what you're saying. I mean, I'm all about showing love to the little guy all the time, but the little guy isn't marketable in the eyes of, the money.
And that's what it comes down to.
Exactly. It all comes down
money.
to
money. It's a money thing. And I don't like that. These are 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, and they got to worry about money.
Nothing makes me happy than watching people who thought Oral Roberts would get washed in the first round going to the Sweet 16, and they're just throwing the middle finger up to the money guy up top saying, watch us do this.
The biggest fear the NCAA has, and I want you to let's pay attention to the refs now. What if it's like an Oral Roberts versus Loyola championship game? That's the biggest fear. They're cool with the story to get to the Sweet 16, but watch how the officiating is like really one-sided once it's like getting closer. Like Butler versus Duke, at least it was Gordon Hayward. You know what I mean? But if it was like, God, like literally.
But Butler at that time was a program on the rise.
It was on the rise, but where have they been since Gordon Hayward left?
No, they had a run without Gordon Hayward too, and then they've kind of come back down to earth. But look at teams like a VCU when they went, with Shaka Smart.
Because Shaka Smart, see, he was marketable. Mm-hmm. Shaka Smart got marketable.
Yeah, it kills me he went out first round too.
I know. He's a good dude. He's a good dude.
He is. And then look at what was it, University of Charlotte with Rodney White.
Mm-hmm.
Like them boys was balling, and they were like, not gonna happen, man. We gotta take care of this.
Yeah.
So nothing makes me happier than a Cinderella story. I really love it. It's just really hard to overcome it, and hopefully, officiating doesn't play into it. I don't want to believe that.
Pay attention. You see that. You think the NCAA wants a Loyola versus Abilene Christian school or one of these other random schools or Roberts? They don't want to see that. They at least want, like, they don't get Kansas, Kentucky, Duke, or UCLA. No, is UCLA still in there?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Oh, shout out to the Pac-12, by the way. Or what do they call it now?
Yeah, the Pac-12.
Yeah, Pac-12. They balling.
I thought,
they balling.
I believe the hype on the Big Ten, man. It's Pac-12 basketball, man.
Hey, go blue though. Go blue. Now that the Tar Heels are out, go blue.
Yeah, it's crazy to see March Madness where it's at. Let's go to another topic now. Let's go to topic 2.
Let's shift gears.
Yeah, let's be careful what we say on this because it will be forever embedded in the interwebs, like you said.
I did say that.
So
right before we took shots at Henny.
Mm-hmm. So Mr. Deshaun Watson, who was easily in the offseason the most intriguing piece to start your franchise, cornerstone your franchise, have your quarterback of the future at the helm, is now facing 16 lawsuits with more coming
and
each
counting
day.
and
Yeah,
counting.
and counting. Um, you know, I'm the kind of person that I say you're innocent until proven guilty. That's just the way that I look at things.
That's how it
Um,
should be. That's what we're built on in
mhm.
the United States of America. In the legal system, you
I
are innocent until proven guilty.
the 14th Amendment. Um, but what does this mean for him going forward? This is where it gets tricky. You know, I hate playing the race card on things, but this is what our country right now is like really big on, and especially in sports. You know, if this was, I'm sorry, Buccaneers fans, I hate to say his name like this for you, but if this was Tom Brady, I feel like the league would be taking care of this and we wouldn't get as much buzz on it. But because he's young, he's black, and I'm sorry, but I feel I know you lived there for a little bit, KK, but I feel like Houston is just a real toxic city sometimes for stuff, man. You can get trapped in Houston, man. Like I really want to go, but I know I could get trapped there.
Well,
What does it mean for him though? Like let's put all jokes aside.
yeah.
What does it mean for him for his trade requests and how teams are viewing him as a player now?
So Deshaun Watson. This is a topic that
Watch what you say.
I know. This is the topic I wanted to avoid. I turn my head around for this one. This is a topic I wanted to avoid for some time because when it comes to stuff like this, it's a very, very, very like fine line that you have to like walk and pay attention to because I mean the allegations against him for what we know so far. I mean, if he's guilty, it's a horrible, horrible look. Now, the reason why this is tough for me, it's kind of what you were talking about. Like Deshaun Watson, being a black guy, Deshaun Watson is like he's one of ours. You know what I mean? Like Ben Roethlisberger went through this, and I didn't really care as much at that time. I was like, whatever, it's Ben Roethlisberger. But like when Tiger Woods was going through his wasn't even like assault or anything like that. He was just a whore. Like Tiger Woods is just a whore. Like he cheated on. He is a cheater, and that's it wasn't it. It's not as bad compared to what Deshaun's getting accused of. But when Tiger was going through what he was going through, I was like, damn, man, Tiger getting drawn through the mud right now. And I was so sad and sad for him and sad for his wife and sad for the whole situation because I didn't want to see Tiger go through that. And like the last 10 years of Tiger have just been like a roller coaster with, DUIs and DWIs and car accidents. But he has a master's in there and it makes me happy they got that master's. So when Deshaun, the first allegation that came out, I was like, all right, this is just whatever. I didn't think much of it at that time because at no point did I think it would turn into what it became. We're at 16 lawsuits filed against him and counting. Fool me once, you know how to say, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame, like whatever, however it goes, right?
Either way, you can't get fooled again.
Yeah, exactly. Fool me can't get fooled again. And if 16 people accuse you of basically the same exact thing, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's not a damn mongoose. It's a duck, And so already in the core of social media because the social media we're a court. Like how they say innocent until proven guilty. No, in the court of social media, you're guilty already. Like it's already been established that he's done something wrong for that many people to come against him. Just like we did with Antonio Brown, just like we did with whomever else. At that point, it's like, damn. And it's like Deshaun Watson, you never hear anything like this about somebody like him. Like before this, did you ever suspect anything of him not being like blue collar, cookie cutter, like real good dude, somebody who, if the Jets had him, you want him representing your franchise. Mm-hmm. And all 32 teams in the NFL want him representing their franchise at that prior to a month ago. Like, And it's like the allegations started last year in 2020 during the pandemic, apparently, with masseuse after masseuse after masseuse after masseuse. That part I did find kind of weird. Like, damn, how many people do you need to massage you, bro? Like, damn. If you can't find one person to be your masseuse, like, damn. Like, so that part makes me even more like, damn.
It makes you think of Rush Hour, like 2, where he goes to the place and just open up and there's all the
masseuse. There's a bunch of them there. But at the end of the day, this is like happening. Like they said, the most recent one happened on March 5th. That's 20 days ago. That's crazy. Like that is insane. And then again, you're innocent until proven guilty. So I'm not going to defame his character yet. But again, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's not a damn mongoose, it's a damn duck. It doesn't look good. He already burnt the bridge with Houston. If he was still loyal to the Houston Texans, like ride or die for them, you would probably hear them ride or die for him. Like, no, we're going to take care of him. We're going to wait, blah, blah, blah. He burnt the bridge. He don't follow them all. He don't mess with none of them. The dude that owns the team is a neighbor and friends with the person that is representing the woman, the prosecutor. So that right there, it don't look good at all. Like the person that you burnt the bridge with is really good friends with the person that's prosecuting you.
So I got another question for you.
Yes.
Do you think during the offseason when he did this, do you think maybe the Texans knew something that we didn't know?
But the Texans were adamant that he's not going anywhere. So it's possible. Look, I don't want to.
We are. We know that.
All right, listen.
We're going to be like that. Oh, no, we want to keep our player. And then the next day they're like, we shipped him out for a washing machine and 12 first-round
Why would Deshaun want to get out of there so badly? And why were the Texans so adamant on making sure he's not going anywhere? If McNair didn't know, I find it hard to believe that if he's that close to that prosecutor has already started building a case a while ago, and he was just kind of waiting for the right time to strike. I felt that maybe this is McNair like, all right, you want to burn this bridge with me? Hey, prosecutor, go ahead and do what you got to do.
He said, come on over to the house for some whiskey.
He said, hey, come on, come get this expensive ass bottle of whatever, and he said he don't mess with me no more. All right. So how does this affect his image? It don't look good. Will team still trade for him? Absolutely. Antonio Brown was going through similar stuff, and teams were still calling. It's about production. At the end of the day, Deshaun Watson is still a top 5 quarterback in the league right now, in my opinion.
I agree.
Quarterback is the hardest position to find the right person for, and if he gets accused, and prosecute or what. First of all, it's still in civil court. It's not even like he hasn't been charged with anything. This is all like a image thing and like a money thing. Like he's gonna have to pay off some people to spare him, because if he doesn't, then it's gonna go to court for real, and then he's gonna be in real trouble, because now he'll be facing jail time and prison time, stuff like that. So
what I gather from all of this, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
What I gather from all of this is like someone I can compare it to is kind of like a Jameis Winston. Remember when he got charged with like touching the Uber driver and stuff like that?
This is not even close. This is
I know it's not. But what I'm trying to get at is like, just surround yourself around good people. Like don't, and this goes back to like the Tyreek Hill situation, because we saw him get crucified and cut from a prestigious organization in the Chiefs.
No, that was Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt got cut.
Didn't I say Kareem Hunt?
You said Tyreek Hill.
Oh yeah, my bad.
But Tyreek Hill was going through some stuff too.
Him too, yeah.
Yeah. So,
but they decided to choose his back over the other, and he he beat the kid or something like that.
Tyreek Hill, yeah, he's abusive. Like Adrian Peterson. But think about it. Adrian Peterson still got a job. Tyreek Hill still got a job. But when it's like children, I feel like they're not there yet. But with women now, with especially in 2021, how Me Too is serious. Like you can't like this whole stuff. It's the boys' club. Like back in the day, that doesn't exist anymore. Like
Yeah, it doesn't.
you
You gotta
can't
watch
punch a
you
chick in the
surround
face and expect to get your job back. You know.
you gotta watch you surround yourself with. I think a lot of the influence comes from your entourage that you keep with you. And I'm not saying that Deshaun probably has a bad entourage or anything like that, but the other thing is like you gotta be in the mind that you're in the public's eye, and especially if you're a franchise quarterback.
You're a
Uh,
millionaire.
yeah,
Like
like
serious.
you gotta know what you're doing. And I'm not saying you go in there and you pay people off or shit like that. That's obviously wrong, but like you got to have a game plan, and
Yeah.
that shouldn't be what it is. Like that's just dumb.
Think about it. Think about this real quick. Sorry to cut you off too. That offensive tackle, I can't even remember his name right now. I don't want to give him a name anyway. But the dude that beat up his wife, that plays for the Seattle Seahawks,
Mm-hmm.
I think he's been cut by now. But he beat up his wife.
Mm-hmm.
That story lasted a week. But who like
He said he
he's
wished he was
not
dead too, man. Like he thought he was dead.
he is a nobody. So that story got buried. He'll probably never play NFL football again. But guess what? No one cares about him. But if you're a Deshaun Watson, an Antonio Brown, a Ben Roethlisberger, a Tiger Woods, whomever else has gone through something similar to this, like Jameis Winston, you need to have enough common sense that everything that you do is going to be micro analyzed. Ezekiel Elliott, same thing. Like it's going to be micro analyzed because at the end of the day, whatever city you're in, let's say Deshaun Watson in the city of Houston, Deshaun Watson is probably one of the more wealthier people there. Correct? I mean, he has a $40 million per year contract or something like that. Like he's wealthy.
1%. He's in the 1%.
Everyone knows what you're doing. You're wealthy. You're one of the faces of the NFL. Everything that you do is being like. I remember like Shannon Sharp years ago. He was going like some lady tried to accuse him of something, and he denied it. He eventually was freed and he was eventually like cleared of everything. But he said ever since then he would never be in the elevator alone with another woman. Right? That's common sense from 25 years ago, 25 years ago. We're in the age of social media, camera phones, every possible thing, any way you can get caught, you can get caught. When you have that much responsibility and that many eyes on you, is when you have to be as cautious as possible so that even your masseuse can't say, oh, he was being inappropriate with me. Because, like, again, I would never think Deshaun Watson would be capable of 16 women saying that he's being inappropriate with them. But I'm like, at the end of the day, it's their word versus his. And if that many women coming out saying the same exact thing, that's not a coincidence anymore. That is like a serial thing, like a habit or whatever it is. That is something that's ingrained that you feel like you're comfortable enough to be able to do that. And I feel bad for every party going through it. The women have to deal with this. Now they're gonna be people are gonna bring it up there. I watch so much Law and Order SVU. I know how this is. I watch every episode of Law and Order SVU. This whole thing is a messy situation. The women have to deal with this. They have to keep doing testimonies and they got to talk about it all the time. Deshaun, who knows what's gonna happen with him? The NFL got to deal with this. Like the NFL doesn't want to deal with this kind of stuff. The draft is about to happen. Free agency, they don't want to deal with this kind of stuff. So it's just a messy thing. I don't know where he's going to be playing next year. He's going to be suspended. He needs to be on the exempt list eventually. It's just, I don't know. It's just a lot.
So does he become a PR nightmare? Kind of like, you don't think so? Because like the last thing I would want to happen to him is to be Ray Rice, and what Ray Rice did was wrong.
Listen, like Ray Rice did was caught on camera, him hitting his wife full clock in the face. Nobody would want to deal with that, right? But on the other hand, Kareem Hunt got into a scuffle with a lady, and they still have him on the team.
That's what I'm
saying. Ben Roethlisberger is guilty of raping, and he's still the face of the Steelers. So, will people bring it up? Yeah, they will. But talent will always outweigh tolerance. Antonio Brown has been accused of some shit, and the Bucs. Tom Brady said, "Please bring him to me," and now AB just got a ring. You know what I mean? So it's like Greg Hardy. Greg Hardy
is the most dangerous man in the world.
How the hell with Jerry Jones? Purple man. Jerry Jones said, "Yo, come on, it don't matter, I got you." I'm like, bro, this dude is dangerous.
And then now he's in MMA.
Correct. Why is he a mixed martial art fighter now? He's not a good person. You know what I mean? It's like, will it be a PR nightmare? No, it won't be. It'll be something that will stain him. It's a stain. It's like a permanent. He has a white T-shirt on, and Clorox cannot get this out. It's a bad stain. But over time, that stain kind of fades in with the shirt and becomes part of the shirt. And you kind of like Peyton Manning got accused of some stuff that he did in college. Does anyone bring up this stuff with Peyton Manning anymore? No one even, like, if I ask a casual fan, they would never know that Peyton Manning went through some stupid stuff in college. If Jameis Winston wasn't an idiot, if Jameis Winston was a Super Bowl with the Saints, nobody's going to be talking about crab legs or hopping on a lunch table saying what he said, or Uber drivers. It's just, if they like you as a person, they eventually get over it. Like Tiger Woods cheated on his wife with 90 women plus. They don't talk about the cheating anymore. They talk about, the Masters that he won, and they talk about the car accidents and the drugs. They don't talk about, it's just one of those things that while we're in the moment, it's like, damn. But like Mike Vick, people still bring up the dogs, but universally, like Mike Vick is not as hated as he was hated 12 years ago. Like 12 years ago, Mike Vick was at the lowest of the low that he could be. And NFL still brought him back. And he still got a starting job. And he still got a contract. And he still got all this other stuff. So it's sad. You don't want to deal with it. But we live in the United States of America where everyone gets a second chance. I mean, quote unquote, everyone gets a second chance. It's going to suck for now. But, I mean, he'll eventually get back. I mean, he'll eventually get, because he's Deshaun Watson. And I don't think he's a bad dude. I just think he has like something messed up in his head where he felt that this was okay. Because a lot of I've come across people who are just raised differently than I was raised, and they just think that's probably okay. I don't know how he was raised, but this might be the best teaching moment that he needs. Like I always say, these things do happen for a reason. Like, and it had to happen to Deshaun, unfortunately for him. Unfortunately to the women, it had to happen. So we'll see. It's tough because I genuinely like Deshaun Watson. Like what I saw in college as a player, I love Deshaun Watson. Now this stuff, it's kind of, it makes me like look at him a little sideways, like, bro, what are you going through? But I don't want to like completely just write him off. Like I hate this dude now. Because I have sisters, and I just like, thank God I don't have a sister that's a masseuse, but I do have sisters, and I always tell my sisters, don't ever trust a man. I always tell my sisters that. So I do get very sensitive about these kind of things, but it's just, I don't know, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, we pray for the best outcome of this, the right outcome out of this. It's very unfortunate. Just stay out of Houston, man. Don't go to Houston for a while. It's just,
I got a sister that lives in Houston. I got another sister that lives in Florida. My other sister lives in Austin. I haven't been able to see.
Okay,
Austin's dope, but I haven't been able to visit them in forever because of COVID happened, and I can't travel to go see them. My other sister, she the one that lives in Austin now, she went to Hawaii. She was like, I'm about to get away from all of this, and she was chilling in Hawaii for like 6 months. Man. So it's I haven't seen him in a little bit. I got to go see him once I potentially get this vaccine. You heard?
Well, yeah. Hopefully soon. NBA season second half is kicking off.
Yeah.
And everybody's dropping like flies, man. Everybody's dropping like flies. Everyone's favorite rookie of the year. God, I hope he doesn't win it.
Not my favorite.
Mine either. But he's done for the year.
Two MVP candidates.
Two MVP candidates are down. And
Durant has been down.
Yeah, the Lakers are in a rut right now of what's going on there.
Yeah.
How are these injuries going to affect other teams, and thus going forward with the second half of the NBA season? How do you see like the Lakers, for instance? Lakers were at the top of their game right before.
I'm about to break down a lot of these right now because I've been like, I'm the biggest to me, I think I'm the biggest basketball fan alive. Like I love to just sit and watch and talk about basketball. So, I only ever watch the Lakers if LeBron is playing. I don't even watch the Lakers if LeBron. I don't watch the Cavs. I don't watch the Heat like I used to anymore. Like I only watch.
Hey, I got a quick question. Did you know Quinn Cook was on the Cavs?
Bro, so there was wishing him a happy birthday. I said Quinn Cook is a Cav? I knew he got cut. I just didn't know anybody signed him. I thought he was just kind of waiting for the Lakers to re-sign him again at some point. I'm like, bro, you a Cav? What? So again, I don't watch Cleveland. Apparently, I don't watch Cleveland. I don't unless like I'll watch it. I like to watch players that I like to watch. I love to watch LeBron, so I'll only watch LeBron games if he's I'm gonna always stay up to watch LeBron. I like Damian Lillard. I like to watch him play. I like to watch the Sixers every night. But outside of that, I gotta really want to watch you. Like if it's a good matchup, like Phoenix, I'll watch Phoenix. Devin Booker is one of my guys. I'll watch the Pelicans. I like Zion. I'll watch Milwaukee, but Giannis is hurt. So a lot of these really good players, LaMelo hurt. Giannis has been hurt. Durant hasn't played in a month. A lot of Kyrie's in and out the lineup.
James Harden has some back issues going on,
bro. Because he's been carrying the damn Brooklyn Nets on his back for the last 2 months. Yo, I gotta give it to him. Listen, before I get to the Lakers, James Harden is that man is different. Like he literally has been carrying the Brooklyn Nets on his back. LeBron James got hurt, and I watched the Lakers. I didn't even watch. I checked the score after the first quarter, the Lakers and the Pelicans. I was like, damn, bro. Not even Phoenix. I understand I'm losing to Phoenix. Phoenix is good. The Pelicans blew the doors off of the Lakers. Now, what that LeBron? No, we put it in our Instagram thing. I was like, yo, Thanos is getting old. Like in the last 2.5, 2 years, because it happened 2 years and change ago when he got the groin injury. I was like, all right, that's a one-off, right? And then this year, a high ankle sprain. He's probably gonna miss a month, right? I'm not used to LeBron James missing games. He'll miss a game here and there, but I'm not used to him missing a long stretch of games over an injury. So, as a LeBron fan, it really it put things in my head where I got to see, kind of like when Kobe started getting the Achilles injuries. I was like, wow, this is the beginning of the end. Crazy, right? I'm saying that right now. He just won a championship 6 months ago, but you start to see he's finally breaking down. Like Kobe used to play through broken fingers, broken hand, broken whatever. But then the Achilles popped, and then the Achilles popped, and it was like the knees, and it was just, I was like, damn, bro, he can't do this no more. And I knew Kobe's career was ending. Same thing with LeBron. Groin injury, LeBron James with groin injury, and now a high ankle sprain that's going to keep him out for a month. It's like, it makes you, first of all, it makes you appreciate him more. Like, some people like to hate on LeBron, right? But then you realize that his career is literally ending pretty soon. And you realize how bad the Lakers are without him. Like, they look horrible. And that's why he's gonna miss a month, and I'll still pick him to be MVP because think about it. Joel Embiid, my guy. Oh, another player that's hurt. Joel Embiid's been hurt for a while, right? But the Sixers still look good. We still balling. Ben Simmons is doing his thing. Tobias is doing his thing. We got Bradley doing well off the that's Dwight Howard playing well to but the Lakers without AD they were still okay. Without LeBron, nah, bro. It's scary it's scary if you're like a Laker fan or a LeBron fan like myself or an AD fan, whoever you're a fan of, it don't look good. Because unless they make a big splash and with these trades or buyout market, they can literally drop to like 7th place by the time LeBron comes back.
Do you think he wants to be an 8th seed for the first time and try and go to the finals as an 8th seed? I know that's goofy. Like he doesn't want that.
If this was still a bubble,
that was in the master plan.
If this was still
8. So we're gonna do it this year for Kobe in the 8th seed. That's what we're gonna do.
If this was still the bubble, I don't think he would care what seed they get. But this is not a bubble. You got to travel to these. Like I don't think LeBron has a problem winning on the road. But why would he want to play Utah in the first round? And they got to play the Clippers, and they got to play that's a path that he probably does not want to take.
I agree.
So to me, they're saying a month. They better pray. I don't know. By the time this episode is released, we don't know what trade is gonna happen. But Pelinka, and Jeannie Buss, they got to make something happen because it's Phoenix at this as they're presently constructed. Phoenix would sweep them. Utah would sweep them. The Clippers would sweep them. The Nuggets would sweep them. Portland would sweep them. That's 5 teams already. Would all sweep this team. Sweep them. Not a game will be won with this team without LeBron, without AD. With AD, all 5 of those teams will still beat them. So AD is a good player, but AD is not healthy. I already know he's not healthy. So at this point, you can't rush AD back either because then he's going to be working too hard to try to get them to keep him afloat while they wait for LeBron. So at this point, they're kind of like stuck between a rock and a hard place where like they got to hope like this Kuzma, like they kept Kuzma. They should have kept Brandon Ingram because think about it. If it was Kuzma that was with the Pelicans, I don't know if that trade would have worked, if they would have let that trade still happen, New Orleans. But if it was Brandon Ingram and Dennis Schroeder and Montrezl Harrell and these other guys, Taylor Horton Tucker, I'd give them a better chance to win a few games, right? Brandon Ingram is clearly a better player than Kyle Kuzma at this point. I don't know if that's an argument. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion, but I think it's pretty obvious. Would you take BI over Kuzma? Okay.
Kuzma just likes to look good.
Is that a question? Like, so it's like, it's like Kuzma is not going to lead them to the promised land. Schroeder is he's a good guy. He's a good dude, but Schroeder's been on like 5 different NBA teams already for a reason. Like, he's a 6th man.
I feel like with this whole thing going, he's definitely the 6th man. We've been saying that all year.
He's a starter, but he's really a 6th man.
I think if they get a point guard, he'll shift back to the bench. But I think what we're seeing now is like a lot of teams are going to make some jumps last second if these teams don't get healthy or make the necessary trades that they have to do. You're already seeing, I think, Charlotte, now that LaMelo's hurt, they're in the 5th in the East right now. They could.
But that's not really saying much in the East. They're 20-20.
I know.
New York is 20-20, and they're like, what's it's like the same thing.
Yeah. So I get what you're saying, but I think a lot of teams are going to be shifting around now, and don't be surprised to see the Lakers be in the middle of the pack as opposed to being the 1 seed that they were in the beginning. They're already falling down the power rankings already. Like, they're not even top 5 anymore.
Screw a power ranking. Power rankings is subjective to me.
I agree.
Real rankings, they're going to free fall in the next 3 weeks. Free fall.
But we all know in the playoffs, LeBron's a different beast in the playoffs. So
if he's healthy,
yeah.
I mean, like 8. Look, remember that guy did that video. I want to make sure I get his name. What was his name? The dude that said he's not Thanos. I'm 36.
I know you're talking about. Yeah.
I want to give him some love right now. But anyway, we got to remember He is not Thanos. He is 36 years of age, 18 seasons, 10 NBA Finals appearances, 3 Olympics or 2 Olympics? Like, this dude has been playing basketball at a high level deep into the season for a long time. He has like the most minutes ever. Like, he's third all time in scoring. Like, he has a lot of miles on his body. So this could be a blessing in disguise if they can stay in the playoff hunt while he's gone. But when he gets back, if this is the same team he's coming back to, he better be 100%, because now that I see that team without him, that team he's literally carrying them on his back. It's crazy. And like AD, God, I don't know what the hell's wrong with AD, to be honest with you. I know he has like Achilles strains and stuff like that, and they don't want to rush him back. But my one knock on AD his whole career is that boy can't stay healthy. And again, apparently he came back to the season out of shape, and clearly that's probably why his leg hurts now, because my man's can't stay in shape or whatever. Like, I don't know. He probably went back to New Orleans, ate some beignets, some boudin, some gumbo. He probably went to Chicago, where he's from, ate some Chicago style pizza, some Portillo's. I don't know what he's doing in the off season, but my man needs to stay in shape.
We wish all these players the best in their rehabs, and hope they can come back soon, because they definitely make the NBA exciting.
KD, what you think? You think KD all right?
I think KD been fine. I think KD
it's a ham. They say it's a hammy, but damn.
I think KD just sitting back, like, when you release me, you know what you get. Like, we're good. You see, remember we were talking about his interviews. How did that Achilles, tear affect you? I feel good.
Feel good.
Real simple. KD's a different animal.
I like KD, bro. I love. Like, he's sensitive. Don't get me wrong, but I love that he's sensitive. He takes everything personally, but the reason why I like it, because he backs it up. Mm-hmm. When have you ever seen KD not back up his shit?
That's true.
Always backs it up.
Another big name, Steph Curry. Steph Curry's hurt too.
Tailbone.
Let's get on his teammate though, Mr. Draymond.
Dre.
Michigan boy. Your favorite?
Michigan State. Whoa.
But he's a Michigan boy, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you go to
the state of Michigan.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
But don't confuse him. He's not blue and maize blue. He's not go blue. He's
not from Ann Arbor. We get it. We know he doesn't go to Ann Arbor.
No. I had to make sure you understand. It's like you say you're a Florida fan. Oh, he a Florida State guy. Whoa. Whoa.
Right. Michigan boy Draymond Green decides to go out and say he is the best defensive player ever.
All time. He said he the GOAT defender.
Fact or foolishness? Please clown this boy for me.
All right, listen. Obviously, it's foolishness, right? Do I like that he said that? I've grown to actually like Draymond Green. I used to hate Draymond Green because he's just annoying the hell out of me. But I've grown to actually genuinely like Draymond Green, because honestly, he said something like this a few years ago. And I like he is a Michigan dude though. Like, he got that little Michigan confidence in him, like from the state of Michigan, where they say people from Michigan will say some reckless shit, but that's what he should be saying. A-Rod, you should be saying you the greatest whatever that you want to be, right? I should be saying I'm the greatest IT recruiter of all time. I should be saying that. Why? Because, like, if I don't say that, you've already lost. Like, Draymond should honestly feel that he's the greatest defender of all time. He has 3 rings. He can no matter what, he can always say, I got 3 rings. And I got a defensive player of the year, and I got 3 rings. He should be saying that. Now, is he right? No, he's not right. But I'm not mad that he said it. I wish he would have said, I am one of the greatest defensive players of all time. Fine, cool. That's fine. But to call yourself better than Hakeem, better than Bill Russell, better than Denver Robinson, better than Ron Artest, better than Scottie Pippen. Now I'm like, all right, bro. Don't say you're the GOAT defender.
Man, you forgot the biggest one of them all.
You said what?
You forgot the biggest one of them all. He's got his own Geico commercial, man.
No, not today. Dikembe. All right. Who? First of all, give me your take on what he said, and then let's run through some names who are all better than Draymond.
My quick take on it is, I think, like you said, he's a 3-time NBA champion. He's won Defensive Player of the Year. He's been on defensive teams. He's a defensive presence in the NBA. His scoring isn't what we really look at when it comes to it, but if he needs to score, he can. Mm-hmm. I think we all know Draymond is the jar that he is. He's going to talk his shit. And one thing I like about, like, he's kind of like KD. He's always going to back his shit up. And he's a bulldog, man.
Well, not always. Like KD will talk shit and then drop 50. Like that's
what I mean by that is, like, if you call him out, like Chuck called him out, like he called Chuck out immediately.
Yeah, Draymond built like that. Think about it.
That's what
Chuck called him out, and then Draymond got like an internship with TNT.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to get. Is like not the point wise, because KD is just built differently. Yeah, we already said it. KD's the kid that hangs around the basketball court, and he's there the same day, the same time.
That's all he knows.
Next day, over and over again.
That's all he don't know. KD can't brush his hair, but he'll drop 80. He'll drop 80 tomorrow.
If he's got to drop the points, he will. But Draymond, he's built different, man. He likes to bark. He likes to talk. Anything that is bothering him or ruffles his feathers, he's going to speak his mind on it. And I really appreciate him on that. I really do. I like it. Like, I didn't like him in the beginning, like kind of like you didn't, because he was just always jawing about shit. But you know what? I'm okay with it. It's good for basketball. It's good for him. And it gives us topic of conversation to talk about. I got no beef.
Fun. Yeah, it's fun.
Talk your shit. Do I wish you would have said you're one of the best? Yeah, I do wish you would have said that, but it gives me something to talk about, and it gives the rest of ESPN and everyone something to talk about.
Now, all right, take this. See, you kind of rock with Draymond. I rock with Draymond, right? But what if somebody like Patrick Beverley said that?
Patrick Beverley is good defensively, but Patrick Beverley is also the biggest crybaby in basketball.
If Patrick Beverley would have said that, I would have flamed his ass today on this show. I would have flamed his ass.
But Patrick Beverley, every time he tries to do shit, it blows up in his face. Remember when he took the picture with Lou Will or whatever, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna blow these cats out of the water." See them in Cancun, and Nuggets sent them packing, and they found that real quick.
Exactly. So like, to me, if you're gonna talk, you gotta have something to stand on. You gotta back that up a little bit. Patrick Beverley is a like a little Shih Tzu, Chihuahua, little dog that just won't shut the hell up, like just bark, 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 bark. And yeah, he's a good defender. You know what I mean? But if he would have said something like that, I'm like, bro, you need to show me some hardware. Show me something to back your statement up. Draymond can be like, look at these 3 rings and things. Look at this DPOY. Look at this first team all defense. Look at my dynasty that I helped build in Golden State. Draymond can back it up. But if somebody like Patrick Beverley, like, would you want Patrick Beverley on the Knicks right now?
No.
Would you want Draymond on the Knicks?
I'd say Draymond.
You would take Draymond. I'd take Draymond on the Sixers. Like, at the end of the day, he's a champ. Like, you want people with that kind of mindset on your team. But the people that just bark and know a little bit of bite, but not enough bite, I don't know. I'm good. I don't need to hear that. So I'm happy. I'm happy that Draymond got confidence in himself. He's wrong. We're about to get into some players that are better than him. How many players do you think are better than him defensively?
Like in the NBA right now?
History.
Oh, a lot. There's a whole lot.
Okay.
If you win it more than one time, like I think that solidifies it. But also the era of basketball in like the 90s to like the mid 2000s was way different, you know.
Let's run through it. I got names. I'm ready.
I got names too, but I got a lot of like snubs as well that weren't considered it.
Okay.
But if you had to put your all-time greatest defensive player at the pinnacle, who would it be in your aspect?
How many players do I get?
Top one, the very top one. What would be your top 5 defensive players of the year? And I'll give you mine.
Hakeem, Dikembe, 2 African brothers, 1 Nigerian, 1 from the Democratic Republic of Congo. You know how we do. We came to the league and we had to shut people down. You feel me? So Hakeem and Dikembe. Ben Wallace? No.
He's got just as many as Dikembe.
I know. He got 4, right?
I think he has 3 or 4 like Dikembe does.
He might have. 5 is hard.
It's not
5
scoring.
is hard.
It's not
because like
scoring. Scoring doesn't go into this. There's no defense in scoring.
I know. I'm just saying. Like Dennis Rodman.
Let's see who your last one is. See if it's on the
David Robinson. I mean, Ron Artest. I don't know. Tony Allen. Scottie Pippen. Did I say him? Kevin Garnett. Did I say Garnett? Jeez. Gary Payton, the glove.
So
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan's my last one.
Yo, Michael Jordan
just said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go get Defensive Player of the Year.
Michael Jordan won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same year. Listen,
I put there.
Let me explain something to you. You know how I feel about LeBron, right? You know that. I would never in my lifetime say LeBron's better than Michael Jordan. I always have him one. It took me a while to even get LeBron to 1B. I have so much respect for LeBron that I wouldn't put him number 2. I'll put him 1B. But Michael Jordan is a phew. He won MVP and DPOY in the same year, in the same season. He was averaging 30 as a guard and still locking people up. You know how much energy that takes to lock up another guard? Like Giannis was, they got Giannis. Giannis is blocking shots because he's 7 foot tall and got long arms. They give people Defensive Player of the Year now because he got long arms. You can block shots.
Dude, Michael Jordan was
locking these folks up.
He was stealing the ball from Patrick Ewing. He was blocking Patrick Ewing. He was taking balls in the air. The one thing, and this was when he was with the Wizards, that I'll never forget. And I was like, Michael Jordan.
Ooh, I know what you're talking about.
When he played against the Chicago Bulls, and Ron Mercer, one of my favorite basketball players when I was a kid, went up for that layup and he caught it off the backboard like this.
He came
down.
Two hands.
I was like, Michael
Jordan, at 38, how old is he? 38, 39? My man's was old. He two hands took that shit off the backboard.
So sweet. I remember as a kid, I was just
it's one of those things you look at as a kid like, damn, bro, this dude is different.
So your top, give me your top 5 of all the names that you mentioned.
But that's hard to do.
Just give me 5. I'll give you mine.
Okay.
If I had to put the number 1, I would say Dikembe Mutombo.
Can we do 10?
There's so many, man.
I would do 10 easily.
Dikembe, Ben Wallace, Hakeem, Bill Russell.
Yeah, Bill.
And Michael Jordan, because it's hard to be a guard and win. And I hope Ben Simmons wins it this year.
For real. Now let me talk about Bill Russell, because I'm very confident that people watching this show has never watched Bill Russell play basketball. Okay, but the thing about Bill Russell, I'm a historian. Okay, I go back and I watch old shit because I'm crazy. Wilt Chamberlain was averaging 50 points a game, 20 rebounds. Like, it was easy. Wilt Chamberlain
Bill Russell was real quick. Bill Russell wasn't 7'1".
That's what I'm about to get to. Wilt Chamberlain was 7'1" or 2 playing against like little people. That's why it was so easy for him. Bill Russell was 6'9". Bill Russell, let's imagine LeBron James right now and put him in 1967 and skinny. Put him in the 1960s and skinny against who's a center that's 7'2" against Rudy Gobert. Let's say Rudy Gobert, 7'2", right? No, let's say Embiid. We're gonna do Embiid because that's a very, and imagine LeBron James right now at his height against Embiid, and LeBron James locking down Embiid every single game, every possession, every year. Bill Russell was 6'9" and skinny, and Wilt Chamberlain was 7'2", scored 100 points, and Wilt Chamberlain could do nothing against Bill Russell, against a smaller player, a skinnier player. Like Wilt Chamberlain was like ahead of his time, strong as hell, and Bill Russell, he couldn't do nothing against Bill Russell. And that's when I was like, yo, this dude, Bill Russell is different too. 11 rings is 11 for a reason. And Bill Russell, again, they named the MVP, the NBA Finals MVP trophy after him for a reason. Like, he's old and a lot of people don't remember him, but the man won 11 rings, and in part because he shut down Wilt Chamberlain, which is crazy because nobody could shut down Wilt Chamberlain but Bill Russell. And
his thumbs still work on Twitter somehow.
That's his wife. That's his publicist and his wife.
She knows how to talk some shit, though. I'll give her that.
Yo, Bill Russell is a good shit talker to this day.
He said like that to Charles Barkley.
He hit Charles with the middle. I was like, damn, Bill Russell's. I like him. So that was your 5. Damn,
it's got to look pretty similar to that.
It's similar. I mean, I got Dikembe for sure, and I got Hakeem. And then it's like after that, I can name so many people. Like
Dennis Rodman's also another really.
I have Dennis in my top 10 for sure.
Jordan. I put Mike there because it's hard to win MVP
as a guard. See, if I did like all right, let's say I did like a starting lineup for my 5. So I'm not even gonna do top 5. I'm gonna give you a starting lineup.
I like that. Let's do that.
Gary Payton would be my point guard.
Okay.
Defensively.
Mine too.
Mike would be my 2.
Mine too.
My 3. All right, let's go. Let's look at some 3s. We got Scotty. We got Tony Allen as a defender. Kobe said that's the hardest player I've ever played against.
Mm-hmm. Big cap on Draymond.
What's up?
He also said big cap to Draymond on Twitter.
Yeah. So yeah, like come on. Tony is a dog. So let's. So we got Gary. I got Michael. Damn, Kawhi. Anthony Mason. You say Anthony Mason?
He was pretty defensive.
I'm not putting him on my starting lineup. I put Bruce Bowen over Anthony Mason. Stop.
Bruce Bowen's a good one too.
Ron Artest.
I'd say Ron Artest would be my guy.
So think about it. There's a lot of people we could put at 3, and Draymond's not one of them. So for kicks and giggles, I'll say Scotty.
Okay.
Or Ron Artest for my small forward, and then I'll have Hakeem and Dikembe, or Bill Russell and Dikembe. Either way, like, yo, or David Robinson. Yo, David Robinson had a quadruple double, okay, with blocks. Okay? That's not normal. That's not normal. Fair. Dikembe Mutombo is how many times? 4 times?
4 times. Him and Ben Wallace have the most.
I want you to go back and look. I'm a Sixers fan, okay? In case you didn't know. In 2001, the Sixers, we made it to the NBA Finals, right? Prior to that All-Star game, Dikembe wasn't on our team. You know who we had? We had Tony Kukoc. We traded Tony Kukoc and something else, whatever, to get Dikembe right after the All-Star game because they felt like Allen Iverson and Dikembe had a little vibe during that All-Star game. Dikembe Mutombo and Allen Iverson, it was mostly Allen Iverson offensively, but defensively, Dikembe Mutombo carried us to the NBA Finals only to get abused by Shaq. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong getting abused by Shaq, but it was literally only Allen Iverson and Dikembe Mutombo. Like, let's be real here. So, and then the Nuggets, they were 8 seed, beat the Seattle Supersonics in 1994. Why? Dikembe Mutombo was the best defensive player on the court. It's like, so you got to give Mutombo his credit for sure. And as long as he's not going against big ass Shaq, then Dikembe can hold his own. He can hold his own down there. But you got to give love. There's so many. I can name 20 players before I get to Draymond, to be honest with you.
Me too.
I mean, I didn't even mention Dwight Howard. How many DPOYs does he have? A lot? 3?
2 or 3, yeah.
Yes, 3. Back to back to back. I didn't even mention him.
Gobert has 2, maybe 3 this year.
Yeah. I
know we got to see him. We got to see his true colors against the Sixers.
After Embiid put Yeah, after
him around, man.
After Embiid bodied this dude, I was like, man, bro, I can't put Rudy Gobert in my top 20.
I think, I'm not trying to say everyone's entitled to the bad game, but he got muscled around, man.
No, he did. Again, Ron Artest was
who's a big snub for me? And I'm saying this because I'm a Knicks fan, that he never got Defensive Player of the Year, and he was only there for a little bit. Marcus Camby, he never won it, did he?
Marcus Camby.
I feel like he was all.
I wouldn't say he's a top 50 defender, but I don't think he's one of like Tyson Chandler is way better to me defensively than Marcus Camby.
Oh no, for sure, yeah.
So
I'm saying that underrated, under the radar, was a good defensive anchor for when he was with the Knicks when they brought him there for. Then when he went to the Clippers and when he went to the Blazers and when he went wherever the hell else he went to.
Was Camby ever with the Nuggets? No, he wasn't with the Nuggets.
Yeah, he was with the Nuggets.
He was with the Nuggets. Yeah, he was with the Nuggets. Yeah. Tony Allen, another one. I'll put way over Draymond.
A lot of people look over defense. That's the thing. That's what I hate. Defense is big. Defense wins you championships.
But it's good. It's good that we're having this conversation again because people gotta remember, like, at the end of the day, you still need. Listen, all right, you still need to be able to play defense in the NBA. I know there's no hand check. I know, like, you can't be in the paint all day long, but you still got to be able to play some defense. Like the Warriors, as good as that dynasty was, they were still a top 5 defensive team. The Lakers last year were a top 5 defensive team. The Lakers this year, prior to the injuries, was the number 1 defense in the NBA. That's why they were so good. So, yeah, you can't sleep on defense. Chris Paul, do you know who Sidney Moncrief is?
Mm-hmm. He wanted
twice.
Yeah.
He won twice as a guard. Sidney Moncrief used to lock folks up as a guard. So, yeah, there's a lot of guys out there that you got to give them their credit. You got to give them their roses. It's Draymond. I think what Draymond did was open up a conversation so that we can talk about it. But you got to be. Yeah, I'm not mad at Draymond for saying it, but he's not right. He's not accurate.
Thank you, Draymond.
Thank you.
Let's wrap it up. Let's do it. Where you go to college?
So you know what my edition is today? I call it the mini me edition. Every player on my list, short NBA basketball players. Where did they go to college? The first one, the shortest of them all, Muggsy Bogues from Space Jam, Charlotte Hornets, Washington Bullets, wherever else he played at. Where did Muggsy Bogues go to college?
Wake Forest.
How the hell did you know that? You cheating ass. You saw my list. All right, good job. All right, next one. Won a slam dunk contest in the 80s. Spud Webb. He's relevant.
I know he is. I don't know what Spud went, though.
Guess. He went to 2 colleges, but guess the bigger one that he went to. You might even get it. You might not get it, but we'll see.
I know it's not out west.
It's on the East Coast, on the Atlantic Seaboard.
Georgia Tech. I don't know.
Nah, North Carolina State.
Okay.
He also went to Midland College, but I don't know where the hell that's at. But North Carolina State is where he graduated from and got drafted from. Okay. The next one, easy. We just talked about this like a week or two ago. He played cornerback in college in the West Coast, Pac-12. Nate Robinson, short man, who won 3 slam dunk competitions. Screw that. Andrew Iguodala got robbed one, but where did Nate Robinson go to college?
Washington.
You knew that. That's easy. I said I'm gonna give you an easy one. I told you that.
That's my favorite. One of my favorite players of all time.
I like Nate until he got knocked out by Logan Paul, Ryan Paul, one of them Paul brothers.
Man,
I like Nate.
He's minorities back so far with that, man.
Bro, we can't talk about that.
Yeah,
that gets brought up once a month, but that's it.
No more.
Listen, we gonna get it back. Anthony Joshua plays get Tyson Fury. We gonna get it back.
I love boxing. That's gonna be a good fight.
I got a boy. We're gonna talk about this. I got a boy we gotta bring on. He's a boxing guru. All right. Next one. Short dude. He played for the Nuggets. He played for a few other teams. 5'5", Earl Boykins.
See, I don't know Earl. I know he's like fun to play with in 2K, but like
98 draft. That's your draft that you like. One of those drafts that you like.
Michigan State?
Close. It's in the state.
Michigan?
No. Oh, hell no. Don't you ever disrespect Michigan like that. I would know that. Eastern Michigan.
Don't disrespect Earl Boykin like that. If you want to go to Michigan, you can.
My bad. My bad, Earl. My bad. My bad. DMX. That's Earl. That's DMX name. You know Earl. Come on, New York. All right, the next one. He played with Kevin Garnett. His name is Terrell Brandon.
We did this one already.
I know. That's why I want to make sure you remember. Because I'm gonna do. I have a follow up. Because the next person I'm gonna pick. I like to play with him on video games for whatever reason. But where did Terrell Brandon go?
It's a damn shame, man. He should have been really, really good. He was part of like a big trade chip too. He went to Oregon.
Okay, this next one you'll probably get. This is not part of my 5, but it's a spinoff. It's another Minnesota Timberwolves, and he also played for the Rockets too. You should know this. You better know this. Bob Sura.
I did this one too.
No, you did not.
Then I might have said his name in a podcast. He went to Florida State.
Yo, Bob Sura was cold, bro. I like Bob Sura.
95 draft, man.
And then I remember I told you, you're right. You probably did this one because I was like, Latrell Sprewell, where'd he go?
I think you did Sam Cassell, and then we started talking about Florida State basketball.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, Sam Miami. He was a coach. I was doing coaches.
That's right. That's what we were
doing. That's correct. All right, you got that one. All right, last one.
Oh, one more.
You're not going to get this. I don't know. He played with the Sixers for a little bit. He may not be as relevant, but he was like one of my guys I used to like as a Sixer. He was one of my favorite Sixers. Speedy Claxton.
You did this one already too, and I didn't get it.
There's no way.
Yeah, I didn't get it. He went to like some small school.
Hofstra.
Yeah, you did this one already.
Did I do Avery Johnson?
You did Avery Johnson too.
No way, I didn't do no Avery Johnson.
Man, you gotta start writing these down.
I didn't do Avery Johnson.
Give me a Sixers player that falls into your mind that's one of your favorites.
Matt Geiger, who owns a bar over in St. Pete.
He lives in not Carrollwood, Odessa. He has a big gate with MG on it. He went to Georgia Tech, I believe.
We're about to figure that. We're about to make sure that you're right. He did. Georgia Tech.
Ooh.
Matt. Oh, all right. Let me give you a Nick. Who are one of my favorite Knicks? Besides Ewing and Allen Houston, Latrell Sprewell, Chris Childs, Charlie Ward. Who was one of my favorite Knicks? I'm about to give you a current Knick. Where did Quickly go to college?
Kentucky, bro. We know that one.
Okay, good. All right, I'm done. We're not having this conversation no more. Who else went to Kentucky? Maxey. Who's better, Maxey or Quickly?
I thought Maxey was better, but Quickly's
better no
right now, man.
Yeah, why y'all gotta give Quickly some playing time, bro.
You do. So I don't know if you ever watched Jesus and Mero. Like, those are my idols. I love watching them. And they had Eddie Hong on there, and they always do the "What would your neon light say" at the end? And his neon light said "Free Quickly."
Quickly.
I'm all about Free Quickly right
now. Hey, if he wants to play for the Sixers, man, we got. Hey, remember what's his name? Suge Knight was the Source Awards. You all in the video dancing. Come on over to Philadelphia 76ers.
You want to win a championship? You don't want to be playing all those minutes, running down those knees.
All up in there.
Sixth place.
Hey, you trying to get coached by Tom Thibodeau, doing all them suicides, defense. Come on over and play for Doc Rivers. Philadelphia 76ers. Let's go.
Oh man. All right. So that's our show for this week. Let's go with the rattle down. Twitter @fair_weather_pod. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You can find us at The Fair Weather Podcast. Just for shits and giggles, where else can they find us at?
Mi Gente, Black People Meet, MySpace, AIM, shit, man, all of them. Tinder, Bumble, wherever you want. We are worldwide. Come see us.
And wherever you subscribe to podcasts, you can find us there as well.
Anchor FM. Google Podcasts, RSS feed, all that stuff. All right, guys. Peace. Go
Stop
Sixers.
aging hate.
Go Sixers.